active listening? Active listening is a skill that can be acquired and developed with practice. Active listening means actively listening, that is fully concentrating on what is being said rather than just passively hearing the message of the speaker. Active listening involves listening with all senses, as well as giving full attention to the speaker. It is important that the active listener is also seen being listening. Otherwise, the speaker may conclude that what they are talking about is uninteresting to the listener. Generally, speakers want listeners to demonstrate active listening by responding appropriately and doing things such as responding, using eye contact, and having good posture. Having appropriate facial expressions, and active listeners will not be distracted and therefore will refrain from fidgeting, looking at the clock or watch, doodling, playing with their hair, or picking at their fingernails. Here are a few examples of good responses while active listening. 1. Tell me what I can do to help. 2. I understand. 3. I feel you. 4. I get what you're saying. 5. What happened after that? Here are a few examples of not active listening. Starting another conversation while the other person is talking, appearing to be bored and not interested in their conversation, not asking questions, not giving feedback, looking at your watch or the clock, not getting distracted easily, not remember things the person said. Here are a few examples of benefits of using I statements as opposed to you statements. I statements enable speakers to be assertive without making accusations. You statements can often make listeners act defensive because they feel attacked. An I statement can help a person become aware of problematic behavior. I statements allow the speaker to voice his or her emotions clearly. I statements allow people to work through their disagreements in a way that allows them to express their opinions and feelings toward each other without assigning blame and placing further strain on the relationship. I statements can help create positive communication in relationships and also may help them become stronger. And this happens because sharing feelings and thoughts in an honest and open manner can help people grow closer on an emotional level. Here are just a few examples and tips of how to be a better listener. Keeping eye contact. Don't touch your phone or watch. Summarize what was said. Ask questions. Don't speak/interrupt the speaker, and have empathy towards what the person is saying. Hi, Justin.
What's up?
Have you ever heard of an I statement?
No, I have not.
Okay, would you like me to explain it to you?
Not really, but go ahead.
An I message or an I statement is an assertion about the feelings, beliefs, values of the person speaking, generally expressed as a sentence being with the word I, and is contrasted with a you message or you statement, which often begins with the word you and focuses on the person spoken to. An example would be, I feel upset when you take my things without asking.
Okay.
Now that you are familiar with an I statement, do you remember a time that you've used one?
No. Not at all.
Okay. Can you tell me of a time that you should have used an I statement but didn't?
Well, I said I like chicken once. A couple of times.
Justin, that's not it. Can you tell me of a time where you should have used an I statement but didn't?
Nah, I can't.
Well, now that you know what an I statement is, would you consider using one in the future?
No.
Why not?
Because I've gotten this far without using one. What am I going to use one for? But, I mean, yeah.
Have you ever heard of an I statement?
No.
Okay. An I message or an I statement is an assertion about the feelings, beliefs, values of the person speaking, generally expressed as a sentence beginning with the word I and is contrasted with a you message or a you statement, which often begins with the words you and focuses on the person spoken to. An example of an I statement would be, I feel upset when you take my things without asking. Now that you're familiar with what an I statement is, can you think of a time when you've used one?
practice,
Okay.
or in school, or in. There's a lot of time.
Can you give me an example of a time that you should have used an I statement but you didn't?
Can I give you an example? No.
Yeah. No, you're not giving me an example. Okay. Now that you know what an I statement is, would you consider using one in the future?
Yeah.